Good evening and welcome to Points in the Paint. I am not Andrew McKay. I am Doug Green. I am pinch hitting for Andrew this week, and I am joined by Sam Odiemi, our faithful NBA expert here. So we want to come in tonight, talk a little NBA playoff now that those things are just about set. Make sure that we cover all of those bases for you. So we'll kind of run you through at least the way that things are kind of right now. There's still 2 games in progress with playoff implications, but as of right now, we'll kind of take you through the way that things are. So from the top, the way the play-in tournament is going to work, and this is coming from NBA.com itself. So the way that it works is the 7 and 8 seeds play each other, and then the 9 and 10 seeds play each other. The lower seeds, so the 9 seed and the 7 seed only need to win 1 game to advance. The 10 and the 8 seeds have to win 2 games to advance. Then the 2 winners will play each other, and then that's how you determine the seedings, the winners of those games. Then going forward is how you determine the seeds there. So I kind of like how this has been kind of brought up. I wouldn't be mad if the NCAA tournament adopted something similar to this. But Sam, kind of what's your feelings on this play-in tournament? Do you like it? Do you hate it? Kind of what do you think?
It's something different. And yeah, it's different. I like it, just something different. Normally it was always 1 through 8, top to bottom. But yeah, it just gives a little, and especially to some of those other teams, like the team like the Bulls, who were like literally on the cusp, and just fell short. So yeah, I like it. I think it's good, especially for those teams always usually battling for those last spots anyways, because there's usually always a handful of teams that are in the mix. So like, it was also good to see a team like Sacramento like just finish short, and they've had a drought. So it gives teams like that a chance too. New Orleans, as well in that mix.
Yeah, and I thought it brought in a little extra excitement into the regular season as well. Especially as a Bulls fan, I'm watching. I'm watching those games and scoreboard watching, keeping up on what's going on. With those other teams that are in that mix for that 10th spot. So I thought it brought a little extra excitement to the end of the regular season.
I agree. And yeah, because I'm looking at it right now as we speak, and yeah, it came down to the wire. You have Toronto, who literally just won the championship 2 years ago. They were just on the outside. It just adds a little edge and a little competitive fire. And it'll be interesting to see like how the teams respond. It's like like not going to say wild card weekend-esque, because wild card weekend is 1 game, like whatnot, but it kind of has that feel to it.
Yeah, well, for the lower seeds,
for
the lower seeds, definitely it's a do or die type situation. They don't get to screw up. They have to win twice in order to advance. So it's definitely for them, is they're if they've got a little bit of that there. Now for the higher seeds, or for the better seeds, they've got a bit of margin to play with. If they come out and lay an egg in the first quarter, they know that they can swing back and try and steal another game. So they do have a little bit more flexibility there, but there still is a lot of pressure there, though, to go out there and snag a win. So I do like that. I think that will, where normally I might not check in on early round NBA playoff basketball, that might be something, this week that I might actually pop on, if nothing else, to have it in the background and just kind of have it on where I normally wouldn't have that on. So that's something that I think is going to draw some extra eyeballs there.
Exactly. I'll definitely be following along. I kind of took a step back from the NBA like this as the season waned on, or at least the dog days at the post All-Star break. It just felt like an eternity. And now things are going to start to get interesting. So definitely these games moving forward are going to have a lot more intensity to it. I anticipate them being more higher scoring. Maybe we'll see. The defensive teams will obviously still factor in, but yeah.
Yeah, and the playoffs, you always score a little bit less anyway.
Yeah,
maybe it's down
matchups.
Yeah, It may not be a 130, 125 kind of game, but you're still going to get over 100, I think, on both sides. So, but just a little bit lower in over the century mark there. So, looking at the playoff picture right now, and again, this is coming right from NBA.com. Let's start on the Eastern Conference here. So Philly's locked into the 1 seed, and they're kind of waiting for whoever is kind of waiting there. Brooklyn is locked into the 2 seed, and they're kind of waiting for who's ever going to come out and be the 7th seed there. So we've got those 2 options. The 3-6 game is Milwaukee and Miami. And then the 4-5 is the Knicks and the Hawks with exactly the same records of 41 and 31. So that could be an interesting series.
That's going to definitely be an interesting series. I like that one, New York and Atlanta. I'll be watching that. Man, that's an interesting series because, I mean, you have Thibodeau on the Knicks side, well coach, obviously, been in the playoffs a handful of times, and this team's kind of, a mix of players. I mean, you have the Hawks who have so much depth, like the Hawks have a lot of depth, but so that'll be an interesting matchup. And then also the Milwaukee-Miami matchup, we saw what Miami did to Milwaukee last year in the playoffs, but I just feel like Miami's been so banged up all year. Like, I just feel like Miami's never really been 100%, and I don't think, so we'll see. But that'll be an interesting series to watch as well.
Yeah. Do you think any of the potential 4 teams have a chance of knocking off Philly or Brooklyn in the East, which would be right now the Pacers, the Hornets, the Wizards?
No, I mean,
yeah, they're Boston, all sub 500 too.
So. Boston can make things interesting if like Tatum and Jaylen Brown get hot, and maybe and Marcus Smart. But Boston, Kemba Walker's been banged up, and not having Gordon Hayward has hurt Boston a lot more than you think. Boston's just not the same. Their offense just is not as efficient with like a guy like Gordon Hayward, in there to kind of help move the ball and make plays. So I don't. Indy will compete. Charlotte's young; they don't know any better. Washington, well, if Washington plays. Oh no, Washington has to play Boston.
Washington-Boston is the play-in match.
No, and not even Washington, because Washington doesn't have any interior presence. They just have Westbrook and Bradley Beal, so they can't stop anybody. Yeah, no, nobody really. None of those lower seeds. Alex Len, nope. None of these lower seeds would even. I don't think they have a chance. I think Philly's. Well, Shane Brooklyn, obviously. God forbid an injury. Milwaukee. I still want to see how Milwaukee looks, though. I'm going to have my eyes on them. They're like the only top seed I'm kind of a little on the fence about.
Yeah. My cat keeps walking in front of the camera situation here. As long as you got Giannis, though, you got to feel good that you've got at least.
Yeah, you got Giannis, but you got to see because they're going to try to obviously they're going to try to take him out the game with defensive matchups and whatnot and everything. So, can other guys besides Giannis for the Bucks step up? That's usually the problem. Like Giannis is like the only one that steps up come go time.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's the kicker with those guys. Looking at this flow chart, it looks like I said that a little bit wrong. So if the 7th seed wins, they go which would be Boston and the Lakers as of right now. If the 7th seed wins, they immediately go into the bracket. Everybody else has to win to get in. So 9-10 play each other, and then the loser of the 7-8 matchup. The winner of the 9-10 plays the loser of the 7-8, and then those 2 teams battle for the 8 seed. This is how the bracket actually works out. So I said that wrong at the top. Just kind of now looking at the flow chart that they've got here on NBA.com.
I'm on the app.
Here, I'll drop the. It just says it's just It's just
Let's
a
see.
link in the NBA standings. It's right at the top. Out west, then, your 4 play-in teams as of right now are the Lakers, the Warriors, who won, the Grizzlies, and the Spurs. So they're your 4 teams that are battling it out. And I know that kind of depends on who wins and who loses there, where people are going to get seated at. Lakers are 41-30, and then the 6th seed is Portland, and I know that is in play as well. And as of right this instant, where are they? Portland is up 20 early over the Nuggets. So
Oh, okay. So the 4 teams they're gonna. So the losers of this round play each other, and then that determines. And then the losers of those ones determines the final seeding. So you had to lose. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
So if you're the 7th seed, you're winning. You're in. Everybody else is double elimination.
Yeah.
Which is weird and funky, and I kind of like it, and I kind of hate it because it's hard to explain and hard to wrap your head around. But I like the creativity of it.
Yep. I love it.
Cool. All right. So out west, number 1 seed is Utah. Number 2 seed is Phoenix. Why did Phoenix play one more game than Utah? Did they have like a COVID situation or something?
They did.
Okay.
Utah could be playing right now. I think they were playing right now.
Okay, maybe that's it. Yeah, because they got one less loss than Phoenix.
Yeah, they're playing right now.
Okay, that explains it. Okay. Your 3-6 matchup is Denver-Portland, basically a replay of tonight.
Oh, God.
So that will be – so I'll be curious to see kind of how that shakes out. Probably neither team it's not like football or baseball where you can't, like, not show your hand. Basketball's basketball. You're going to go out and play and kind of what happens. There's not really you can't all of a sudden start drawing up secret new plays for a series like that.
Yeah, but these teams have played each other a lot in the playoffs, like recently too. Like, there's going to be another playoff series between these 2 teams. That's interesting.
Yeah, and then your 4-5 matchup is the Clippers and the Mavs in there.
Clippers.
So, yep.
I had to rematch them last year.
Oh. So, same questions we posed on the East side. You think any of these teams have the ability to go in there and knock somebody off? Either the Jazz or the Suns.
I think the Jazz are vulnerable. I think if the Lakers play the Suns, I think the Lakers can beat the Suns because the Suns don't have any size besides Ayton. So that could be a problem down low. Like, if the Lakers attack with any team, like a veteran team like that, that could definitely be a problem. I think the Suns are vulnerable. Utah. Maybe I think Utah's 100%. I thought Donovan Mitchell was out, but I think he is like a minor ankle. He's supposed to be back. But Utah, I think they'll be good in the first round. Maybe next round they might be. And then 3. Who was 3? Denver. Yeah. Denver, Portland. I mean that's another. Denver's another one too, just because they're playing Portland, and Portland's played them a lot, over the years. So, and they're in the same division, same conference, so they know each other well. But Denver doesn't have Murray, so. But that'll be a good series too. And then 4-5 Mavs, Clippers. Clippers easily win that series.
So the other benefit that the top 6 seeds get is they basically get a week off. So their last game is today, and they don't have to play again until at least Saturday or Sunday. So they're getting basically a week off. Yeah. How big do you think that is an advantage, or you always hear,
rest
about rest versus rust? Yeah, how much do you think that's going to help certain teams versus? Is there any team that's going to hinder? Is there any team that's going to help?
I don't think you'll do. I think you'll help all the teams. I don't think you'll hinder. I mean, a lot of these teams are pretty nicked up before the season end. Like a lot of players in and out, shuffle out on lineup. So I just kind of give you a few days to reset. Then get ready for your opponent. And if you drop that first game because you're rusty, I mean, you're going to make adjustments anyways. Once the series starts, you're going to always be adjusted from game to game. So, yeah, I mean, I think it's good. I mean, especially at this point in the season, I think it's good for some of those teams. It's going to be great for a team like Miami who's dealt with injuries. Give some guys some time to kind of recoup. Like a bunch of guys been injured. Whatnot. Lord knows what these guys do on their off days. You got to imagine they're like getting massages and all the other stuff they're doing just to like get their bodies ready to compete at that high level. So
yeah, that's not my concern. It's the other things that they do with their off time that would be my concern during this week, though.
Yeah. COVID. Yeah. Oh yeah. They're not doing a bubble again. They're going to be playing games.
Yeah, that's probably going to be their first.
Aren't they vaccinated? I think they're vaccinated, though. I think all the players are vaccinated.
Yeah, most of them are nowadays, I think. What I wasn't sure of when I was asking that question mostly is I wasn't sure if there was a team that came in that was really hot here recently, because I see the NBA mostly from the perspective of a Bulls fan. So I don't know if somebody's riding like a 10-game win streak and they would really want the momentum heading into this week and want to keep playing, as opposed to, like you said, other teams that need that time to rest up. Cool. All right, so I'm going to put you on the spot since it is way too early to talk about NBA champions and stuff like that. But who do you like kind of out? So now that we kind of have an idea of kind of the top 10, who would you say is kind of your favorite and your dark horse for this tournament?
I wanted to say Golden State, but they're playing the Lakers, and I think the Lakers are going to just come out and pound. Like, I mean, LeBron's going to come out, and uber aggressive, and same thing for Anthony Davis. It might just be too much for Golden State. Otherwise, I would totally say Golden State, but the fact that they're playing the Lakers, well, I guess I could still say Golden State because they can still lose. Like the Lakers, they can lose to the Lakers can win that series and then end up still being and going on to be the 7th seed.
Mm-hmm.
And then Golden State can lose, end up being
and then be either Memphis or the Spurs,
and then getting back in the 8th seed, and then upsetting Utah. I mean, Steph Curry could be So I guess I can still keep Golden State just because it's Steph.
Yeah,
Steph. Yeah. It's just Steph.
Yeah, he gets unconscious for a week, and next thing you know, they're in the second round. So we've seen him do it before.
Yeah.
What about on the east side? Who do you like over there?
Hold on. I just literally just took me out of it. There's Boston, Charlotte,
Pacers,
and Wizards.
Yeah.
I think Washington because Bradley Beal and John Wall, or Bradley Beal and Russell Westbrook. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's
those two dudes, and then but they have nobody else really around them. But those two dudes can apply pressure on a team, but they had like a third guy. I'm trying to look at the roster right now. I don't know what happened to Boston. Boston's just, I think Brad Stevens is probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he got fired this offseason, fortunately. Yeah, nobody really for Robin Lopez. Yeah, Chandler Hutchinson. Nobody. Yeah. I guess Washington. Washington. Just it would have been so much better if the Bulls were in it, dude. At least we had like Zach LaVine, Cole. We could have. We definitely would have been a dark horse team, especially like. With us, if it's one game, Zach can easily go off for like 40 plus. Kobe can get hot from 3 and hit like 9 threes, and we can easily. And then Vooch is Vooch. He can be consistent. We can easily, play Cinderella. But a team like Washington, it's like, nah, not really.
Right. I don't know. They could be, explosive enough where
it's just those two though. It's just Russell and Bradley Beal.
Yeah.
Let's see. Yeah, Russ, 25. Hachimara solid. He'll be 15. Bertans. Oh yeah, but he got a shooter. Yeah, I guess they do have that. He's a shooter, so he spaces the floor. But he have their center only gave him 1 rebound and 0 points. Alex Len,
Ouch.
5 minutes. Oh, 5 minutes. Okay, no, Lopez had 18 and 6. Okay, off the bench. Gafford. They got Biggs, Hutchison. He's a 4. They don't have a lot of shooting though. That might hurt them. They don't have a lot of 3-point shooting. Besides Bradley Beal and Summer Dude. Bertans, yeah, that can hurt them. But yeah, I mean they can still. I mean, like I said, Russ, is dangerous. Boston too, maybe Jason Tatum, goes off for 50. They're another team. The Bulls are beating the Bucks. Yay!
Which is really kind of surprising without all their guys tonight.
Oh yeah, they played the one guy I know. They have Teague. They have Connaughton. I like Connaughton. Connaughton's a solid rotational player. He just makes plays. And they got Justin Jackson too. When they get him, they got him at the deadline. I've been so out of it for the NBA myself. I'm still trying. I'm trying to get acclimated to everything. I mean, I kind of just these a lot of these teams are just COVID. This he's out for 10 days. It was a weird. It's still a weird season. It's still not.
Yeah, it was still funky. It was not a clean season by any stretch of the imagination.
Yeah,
in there. Talk to me a little about Brooklyn. Everybody's always talking about the Nets and how
top.
Do you think they have what it takes to
Yeah, they have enough. They have enough offensive threat, and they have enough of a team around them to go to the finals easily. Philly, which they can beat Philly. It'd be tough, but they can. I mean, they have enough to go all the way to the finals. They're just loaded. I mean, Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving. That's just so much offense.
Yeah.
I mean, Kevin Durant too. You have the 2 guards in the perimeter. You have a 7-footer mobile, just roaming in the back. You got to pay attention to him, and also account for the 2 guys in front of you. And then you have, and then not to mention they have a big man who's just who's just right below the rim, and everybody just running around and forgot about him. Let's just throw him an alley-oop and easy 2 points.
Do you think there's anybody out west that's got enough firepower to take down them or Philly?
Take down
Brooklyn or Philly?
Brooklyn or Philly, the Lakers, maybe the Clippers. The Clippers have enough. I think that'd be a good matchup. Let's see the West. Lakers, Clippers. I think I want to say one more team. Maybe no, not Denver. Denver lost Murray. Yeah, I might. Not Portland. Yeah, I think maybe just the Lakers and the Clippers, really.
So if it ends up being Utah or Phoenix, they don't have enough?
No, definitely not Phoenix. I mean, Phoenix doesn't have anybody that can stop KD. And then Utah. I mean, Utah's Donovan Mitchell, but they don't have any other Kramer, and they have Conley, but that it would just be that Conley's solid. He's not going to give you 20 plus points. He might give you just under 20. You need somebody that's going to give you 25-ish, close to 30, because Mitchell can give you 30. Mitchell can go off on his own, but he needs a legit second option. And he never really tends to have that. He'll have another guy, a couple guys double figures, but not really a consistent second threat, especially when you need it most. So yeah, that's why I just can't trust Utah. I still can't. When it really, I just can't. I know they're playing better this year, but yeah.
All right. So that's kind of the way that the playoffs look. So just from the Bulls fan perspective, since I'm here and I'm a Bulls fan, how do you feel about their season? Obviously, it's kind of a tale of two halves. You kind of had pre-trade and post-trade. How do you feel about Donovan's first year?
I think it was great. I think management's doing a good job surrounding the team with talent. I think we are headed in the right direction. Growing pains, obviously, Pat Williams. Hey, I literally the trade that we used to give Vucevic. Do we give up our first rounder for this upcoming draft?
I think so, but they're also protected if they're in the top 4.
Okay,
so if they hit the lottery, then they would still keep them. I'll take a look at the Vooch trade.
Is it top 4 protected? Man, that's tough. I wish it was top 10.
Yeah,
because if they said the Bulls are projected 8 in the lottery, yeah, I think that pick's going to Orlando. That's what I've been kind of operating under. Which I mean, okay, that's fine. Let Orlando have that pick. I mean, us getting another first rounder this year is like, another guy, yes, they have developed. We have enough guys, Kobe, Pat Williams, Zach. If we keep Lowry, we got enough talent there. Let's just build on what we have. Like Thad Young, let's get the right pieces in there around our stars now. I think that could be Lonzo, though. Lonzo would be good running the offense. He from that standpoint. And this defensively, too, he's good. I think he'd be good playing with Zach because, Lonzo can shoot. So if we do get Lonzo in free agency, I think that'd be a good move. And I think he will want to come here too, to big city, whatever. Mm-hmm. But he might want to stay in New Orleans too for Zion. I think they're really good. I think they're really close. So yeah. Otherwise, yeah. We just need a point guard. I want it to be Kobe, but I don't think he's there yet. I like Kobe coming off the bench and being that third combo guard that can kind of fill both roles, both guard roles.
Yeah, I agree. So it looks like the trade was the 2021 and the 2023 first.
Yeah.
So not the 22. And I swear that it was top 4 protected. I cannot find.
No, I think it was. Because we gave up one now, yeah.
But yeah, whatever we gave, it was totally. I felt, at least at the time, it was totally worth it.
It's still worth it. No, it's worth it. It's totally worth it. There's no denying that. Like I said, there's no point in us drafting another first round guy in the top and waiting 100 to develop. Because next year too, Pat Williams takes that big step. He becomes more consistent to because there's a few games we should have won. I the Oklahoma City game earlier this year. We were up 30 and we lost. There's a few games that we should have won that we dropped. So those are growing pains. So I love the direction that we're headed in.
I do too. I think you're right. I think if you get a Lonzo Ball or some type of pass first point guard, somebody of that kind of mold, then I think that solidifies a lot of the other pieces there. That allows Zach not to have to be the main guy all the time. You can run your offense through Vooch in the post, and then gives you kind of the ability to spread kind of the rest of the offense out. So I think somebody of that and then that solidifies your second team as well. All the guys coming off the bench, depending upon who those guys are and who stays and goes and all that stuff. Whether Lowry stays, whether they trade him, all that kind of stuff. You have all those different type of pieces in there in play. I would like to see Lowry stay. I like him as a player. I don't think you can find somebody similar. I don't think you can upgrade significantly over him in the free agent market. I think he's. Do I wish he was a little bit tougher as a 7-footer? Yeah, but for a 7-foot guy who shoots threes, he's pretty good. And Donovan Billy Donovan seems to like him a lot. So maybe he does stick around. But yeah, that's what I've got heading into the playoffs. Is there anything else you want to talk about, Sam, before we?
No, this is good. I mean, we'll see what we can do if there's anything next week. We'll see how things look, but yeah, I'm curious to see how things are going to shape out this week. So
Yeah, I think it'll be exciting. I hope we get like a couple. I hope they're just not just all like 10-point wins. I hope we get a couple of buzzer beaters in there to kind of.
yeah,
That was what was exciting last year about the bubble is all those games seemed to come right down to the wire.
yeah.
So I hope we get a lot more of that kind of magic this year. I think that'll help the excitement level around it.
I definitely agree.
All righty. So that will do it for us. We will be back maybe next week. We shall see. So until then, again, I am Doug Green, not Andrew McKay. I am the better looking one. That is Sam Yemi over there. And we will see you guys later. All right.